Let's play another round of nature's birth lottery. The wheel begins spinning through every animal you could possibly become. You could be born as a baby elephant surrounded by several tons of nervous relatives. You could become a wolf pup, sleeping safely inside a warm den while adults delivered dinner. You could even become a pampered house cat, whose greatest childhood emergency is discovering that the expensive sofa is apparently not designed for scratching. The wheel slows down. It passes lion cub. It passes cheetah cub. It passes golden retriever puppy. Then it lands on newborn spotted hyena. Congratulations. You're about to enter the world through one of the most dangerous birth routes used by any mammal. If you survive that, you may discover that your roommate is also your twin, your main competitor, and possibly your first serious enemy. You will be born with your eyes already open. Your front teeth will have erupted. Your jaw muscles will be strong enough to bite before your legs are coordinated enough to carry you in a straight line. Human babies enter the world with poor eyesight, soft gums, and a strong belief that screaming will solve every problem. You arrive like a miniature predator whose safety switch was never installed. Your first few hours may involve fighting for access to milk. Your childhood will be spent inside a communal den, governed by strict family politics. Your teenage years will involve lions, starvation, bone-crushing dinner lessons, and the discovery that your mother's social status may determine whether you eat first or stare hungrily while someone else consumes the carcass. This is the story of how a newborn spotted hyena survives being born ready to fight. Your problems begin before the outside world can even see you. Your mother is a spotted hyena, and female spotted hyenas possess one of the strangest reproductive anatomies among mammals. From the outside, the female's reproductive structure resembles the male's. She has an elongated clitoris, commonly called a pseudopenis. She urinates through it, mates through it, and incredibly, must also give birth through it. That final part is where you become involved. You're not exiting your mother through a short, wide, and convenient birth canal. You must pass through a long, narrow passage inside an organ that was clearly not designed with spacious delivery rooms in mind. This process is especially dangerous during your mother's first pregnancy. The tissue must stretch dramatically and may tear during delivery. Labor can be prolonged. A cub can become trapped, suffocate, or die before reaching the outside world. Your mother is not lying in a comfortable hospital bed while nurses monitor her breathing. She is inside a dark underground den, attempting to push one or two relatively large carnivore cubs through an anatomical obstacle course. After a pregnancy lasting roughly 3.5 months, contractions begin forcing you toward the exit. Your body is compact, but your head and shoulders still need to pass through the restricted canal. You cannot help. You cannot turn around. You cannot ask whether the building has an emergency staircase. You are simply pushed forward. The process may last for hours. Your mother strains while her body attempts something so mechanically difficult that early researchers initially struggled to understand how spotted hyenas reproduce at all. At last, your head appears, then your shoulders. Finally, your entire body slides free into the darkness of the private birth den. You are wet, exhausted, and disoriented, but you are alive. Your mother immediately begins licking you. She clears the membranes from your face, encourages you to breathe, and covers you with her scent. You hear her low grunts and feel the warmth of her body beside you. You have survived one of the most dangerous moments of your entire life. You might assume that the worst part is over. Then another dark shape begins moving beside you. Your sibling is about to correct that misunderstanding. Let's take a closer look at you. You weigh approximately 1 to 1.5 kilograms, although size varies between individuals and litters. Your coat does not yet display the famous spotted pattern of an adult hyena. Instead, you are covered in dark brown or almost black fur. The spots will appear later. Your eyes, however, are already open. This is unusual. Many carnivorous mammals are born blind. Lion cubs enter the world with their eyes closed. Wolf pups cannot see. Domestic puppies begin life as warm potatoes equipped with noses. You can already look around the den. More importantly, your incisors and canine teeth have already erupted. These are not future teeth hidden beneath soft gums. They are present, visible, and fully capable of damaging whatever happens to be nearby. Your neck and jaw muscles are also unusually well developed. Your rear legs may wobble when you attempt to move, but your head can already lunge forward. Your jaws can close around fur, skin, ears, and limbs. Why would a newborn animal need this equipment? Because the most important resource in your young life is limited: milk. Your mother produces extraordinarily rich milk containing high levels of fat and protein. It will be your main food for many months and may continue supplementing your diet for well over a year. But your mother cannot remain inside the den permanently. She must leave to hunt, feed, defend her position, and interact with other members of the clan. Her trips may take her kilometers away. Depending on food availability, she may remain absent for many hours or even several days. When she returns, each feeding opportunity matters. There is no communal milk station. Spotted hyena mothers generally nurse their own offspring. Another female is unlikely to notice that your mother is away and volunteer to cover the afternoon feeding shift. Now look beside you. Your sibling has open eyes too. Your sibling also has teeth. Your sibling has reached exactly the same conclusion about the milk supply. Most newborn mammals compete by squeaking, pushing, or arriving at a nipple first. You and your sibling have arrived equipped to negotiate with your faces. Your mother may have several teats, but milk production, access, and feeding time are not unlimited. If she stays away for a long period, the cub that drinks more may grow faster and become stronger. You cannot hunt. You cannot defend yourself against a lion. You cannot travel with the clan. But you can already bite the only animal directly competing with you for breakfast. You're essentially a tiny weapon system powered entirely by dairy. Within hours of birth, the fighting may begin. You turn toward your sibling, your mouth opens, your head swings forward, your jaws close around an ear, shoulder or neck, your sibling bites back. Neither of you can walk properly, but both of you understand the basic principle of removing competition from a feeding station. The birth den is small, which means escape is difficult. Your mother may move between you, reposition herself, or interrupt the most violent attacks, but she cannot permanently keep two determined cubs apart. When she lies down to nurse, the conflict becomes focused on access to her milk. One cub begins gaining an advantage. Perhaps that cub is you. You push your sibling away from the easiest feeding position. You nurse for longer. When the other cub approaches, you bite. Your sibling retreats, waits, and tries again later. Through repeated confrontations, a dominance relationship forms. One cub becomes dominant. The other becomes subordinate. This does not mean every spotted hyena litter ends in murder. That is important. Newborn sibling aggression can be intense, and fatal siblicide has been documented, but it is not inevitable. In many litters, both cubs survive after establishing which one is dominant. The subordinate cub learns when to approach, when to retreat, and how to feed without provoking another attack. Under favorable conditions, there may be enough milk and maternal care for both cubs to grow. Under harsher conditions, the situation can become deadly. If food is scarce, your mother may produce less milk or remain away for longer periods. The dominant cub may repeatedly block its sibling from nursing. The weaker cub loses energy, becomes less capable of fighting back, and may eventually die from starvation or injuries. From a human perspective, this is horrifying. You have been alive for less than 1 day and are already treating your sibling like a hostile business partner attempting to steal your salary. But evolution does not judge behavior based on politeness. Your mother invests enormous energy in producing milk. If conditions are too difficult to raise two healthy cubs, concentrating her resources in one strong survivor may be more successful than producing two underfed cubs that both die later. You understand none of this. You're not making a calculated evolutionary decision. You are responding to instinct, hunger, and immediate competition. Meanwhile, your mother has survived a brutal delivery only to find two armed newborns arguing over her stomach. There is no parenting manual for this situation. There's only milk, growling, and the occasional need to remove someone's teeth from someone else's neck. If you survive the early confrontations, your next task is simple. Drink as much milk as possible. This sounds relaxing until you consider what your mother must do to produce it. Spotted hyena milk is extremely rich. Its high concentration of fat and protein allows you to receive dense nutrition even when feeding sessions are separated by long periods. Your mother must convert antelope, zebra, wildebeest, and whatever else she can obtain into enough milk to support 1 or 2 rapidly growing cubs. That requires food. A lot of food. She leaves the den and travels across the clan's territory. Sometimes she hunts with other hyenas. Sometimes she feeds from a carcass already claimed by clan members. Sometimes she must compete with lions, vultures, or rival hyenas. While she is gone, you remain underground with your sibling. There is no refrigerator. There are no emergency snacks. There is no bowl of dry hyena food beside the entrance. You wait. When your mother finally returns, you recognize her calls and scent. You rush toward her belly. If you are the dominant twin, you may take the best position immediately. If you are subordinate, you watch carefully for an opening. The difference between feeding now and waiting matters when your mother may leave again soon. During your first several months, milk is everything. Adult spotted hyenas can eat meat, skin, tendons, and bone. You cannot yet depend on solid food. Your jaws may be armed, but your digestive future has not fully arrived. Your mother pays the energy bill. Her social position within the clan strongly affects how easily she obtains food. Higher-ranking females usually gain better access to carcasses. They can approach food sooner, eat high-quality portions, and displace lower-ranking individuals. A low-ranking female may be forced to wait. By the time dominant animals finish, the richest meat may be gone. She may receive scraps, skin, or bone, or she may leave the feeding site with very little. That means your survival is connected to a political system you have not even entered yet. Before meeting most of the clan, your mother's rank is already influencing the amount of energy reaching your stomach. When prey is abundant, you grow quickly. When prey becomes scarce, she stays away longer, and each reunion becomes a desperate scramble. Your mother continues nursing you for an unusually long time. You may depend completely on milk for roughly your first 6 months and continue suckling until you're more than a year old. Some cubs nurse for well over a year, even after they begin eating meat. For a young spotted hyena, extended nursing is simply the best meal plan available. For your mother, it means spending months functioning as a mobile, bone-powered dairy factory. For the first few weeks, your mother keeps you inside a private natal den. This gives you time to grow before meeting the rest of the clan. She nurses you, guards the entrance, and leaves only when she needs to feed. Then moving day arrives, your mother grips the loose skin around your neck with her jaws and lifts you from the ground. From your perspective, the world swings underneath you. Grass, dust, insects, patches of enormous blue sky. You hang from her mouth while she carries you across the savanna toward the communal den. This is where many mothers raise cubs at the same time. The den may be an enlarged burrow originally created by another animal. It contains several entrances and a network of narrow underground tunnels. Adult spotted hyenas are too large to travel far through the smallest passages. Cubs can squeeze inside. For you, the communal den is a nursery, playground, bunker, school, and political training academy. You meet cubs from other litters. Some are tiny and still covered in dark fur. Others are older, larger, and developing the tan coat and black spots of an adult. They approach you. They sniff your face. They paw at your back. Then they begin biting you. This time, the biting may be playful. Spotted hyena cubs wrestle, chase one another, tug at fur, and practice movements that will later become useful during hunting and fighting. The difference between playing and serious combat may be difficult to identify because both activities involve growling and teeth. The narrow den tunnels offer protection. If a lion, leopard, or aggressive adult hyena approaches, you can disappear underground. The attacker may dig or wait near an entrance, but it cannot easily follow you into the smallest passages. Your security system is based on remaining smaller than whatever wants to kill you. The communal den is not perfectly safe. Parasites and disease can spread among closely packed cubs. Snakes may enter burrows. Aggressive animals can wait outside. Heavy rain may flood parts of the tunnel system, but compared with sleeping in open grass, the den is an underground fortress. Most importantly, it introduces you to hyena society. You watch adults arrive and leave. You observe which females approach confidently and which move aside. You see who receives grooming, who starts fights, and who is allowed closest to food. Every interaction contains information. You're about to learn that in a spotted hyena clan, your mother's identity may be almost as important as your own strength. Spotted hyenas live in large social groups called clans. A clan may contain dozens of individuals, although all members do not remain together continuously. Hyenas travel, rest, hunt, and feed in smaller groups that repeatedly separate and reunite. This is known as a fission-fusion society. It is the animal equivalent of a large family group chat in which different relatives constantly appear, disappear, and return with new arguments. Inside the clan is a strict dominance hierarchy. Females usually dominate adult immigrant males. High-ranking families occupy the top positions, while lower-ranking families must submit. Your place in this system depends heavily on your mother. You do not inherit rank through a single gene that prints important across your forehead. You acquire it through social support, observation, and repeated interactions. Suppose your mother is high-ranking. You approach a lower-ranking adult. Perhaps you attempt to take food or stand too close. The adult threatens you. Your mother intervenes. She growls, attacks, or forces the other hyena to retreat. You learn that you can challenge this individual and receive support. Later, you try again without your mother standing directly beside you. The subordinate hyena remembers your family connections and may move away. Suppose your mother is low-ranking. You approach a dominant female with the confidence of someone who has completely misunderstood the organization chart. The female threatens you. Your mother does not challenge her. She may retreat or display submission. You quickly learn that the dominant female's food is not available for experimental stealing. Over time, cubs usually acquire positions immediately below their mothers and older female siblings. Rank is socially inherited. A high-ranking mother gives you a major advantage. You may feed earlier, grow faster, and receive support during conflicts. A low-ranking mother gives you access to the same savanna, but a much worse customer service package. You must also learn the clan's communication system. Spotted hyenas whoop, grunt, groan, squeal, and produce the famous giggling sound. The giggle does not necessarily mean that something is funny. Hyenas often giggle during stressful, competitive, or submissive situations. Features of the call may provide information about age, identity, and social position. Your laughter is less, "that joke was hilarious," and more, "I am nervous," subordinate, and currently being chased away from dinner. Long-distance whoops allow separated clan members to locate one another or recruit support. You must recognize voices, relatives, enemies, and alliances. A human child receives alphabet blocks. You receive an advanced course in nepotism, coalition politics, and carcass access. For several months, the communal den remains the center of your life. Gradually, you begin exploring farther from its entrances. Your dark infant coat fades, tan fur appears, dark spots spread across your body. Your legs grow longer, and your shoulders become stronger. Your jaws are developing into tools that will eventually crush bone. But the farther you travel from the den, the less protection its narrow tunnels can provide. Popular stories often describe hyenas as cowardly scavengers that wait for lions to finish eating. Reality is much more complicated. Spotted hyenas are highly capable hunters. They kill much of their own food. Lions also steal carcasses from hyenas, just as hyenas sometimes steal from lions. The two species compete intensely over prey, territory, and feeding opportunities. Sometimes that competition becomes deadly. You follow your mother toward a carcass. Adult hyenas surround it, tearing through skin and muscle. Bones crack beneath powerful jaws. You attempt to approach. A higher-ranking animal pushes you away. Then every head suddenly rises. A lioness has appeared in the grass. Some hyenas stand their ground. Others begin circling and pawing. The clan must evaluate the situation quickly. One lion facing a large group of determined hyenas may be surrounded, harassed, or driven away. Several lions, especially adult males, can turn immediate retreat into the only intelligent option. You remain close to your mother, attempting to look useful, while weighing roughly the same as one of the lioness's legs. If enough clan members arrive, the hyenas may mob the lion. They dart forward, bite from behind, and retreat before the lion can turn. If the numbers remain unfavorable, everyone runs. Lions do not always need to be hungry to kill hyenas. Competition alone may be enough. A young hyena caught in the open is especially vulnerable. You run beside your mother. Your long front legs and shorter hindquarters create the sloping back and unusual gait associated with your species. You are built for endurance rather than elegant sprinting. Your survival may depend on adults distracting the lion and on your ability to keep moving. This is where social bonds become physical protection. Relatives and allies cooperate against shared enemies. A large coordinated clan can challenge threats that would overwhelm a solitary animal. You were born fighting your sibling over private access to milk. Now you're learning that survival sometimes requires cooperation with dozens of relatives around shared food. Nature has promoted you from household conflict to international relations. As you grow older, you begin experimenting with solid food. Your mother does not place a neatly sliced steak in front of you. You approach a carcass crowded with adults whose table manners involve screaming, shoving, and placing their entire heads inside the body cavity. If your rank is high, you may be allowed closer. If your rank is low, you must wait until dominant animals finish or attempt to steal a small piece without attracting attention. Your jaws are becoming extraordinary tools. Adult spotted hyenas can consume muscle, skin, tendons, internal organs, and large quantities of bone. Their strong premolars crack hard material. While their digestive system extracts nutrients from food, many predators leave behind. Even bone fragments may be broken down. Your first attempts are less impressive. You grip a strip of skin and pull backwards. Nothing moves. You plant your feet, shake your head, and growl. An adult takes the same piece with one effortless bite, leaving you chewing empty air. You try attacking a small bone. It rolls away. You chase it, pounce, and begin gnawing with the determination of a domestic puppy destroying an expensive table leg. Gradually, you learn where to bite, how to pull, and how to hold food with your paws. You also learn that feeding quickly matters because another hyena is always available to steal whatever you worked hardest to obtain. Soon, you begin accompanying older animals on hunts. Hyenas may hunt alone or in groups depending on the prey. They pursue wildebeest, antelope, zebra, and other animals using endurance, coordination, and an ability to identify vulnerable individuals. At first, you are an observer with enthusiasm. The adults charge a herd. You sprint after the wrong animal and discover that every experienced hunter has turned in another direction. You follow late, you trip over grass, you approach too closely to a pair of kicking hooves and realize that dinner is capable of fighting back. With practice, you learn to read movement. You notice weakness, isolation, and hesitation. You learn when to chase, when to cut across, and when to stay away from legs capable of turning your skull into an educational fossil. Hunting is not produced by instinct alone. It requires observation, failure, and repeated practice. Your long childhood gives you time to learn these skills while your mother continues providing milk and protection. The same cub born with eyes open and teeth ready for combat still requires more than a year of support before becoming fully independent. Being born advanced does not mean being born prepared for everything. As adolescence approaches, you spend less time at the communal den. You travel with clan members more frequently. You learn the boundaries of the territory, the location of water, and the best places to find prey. You also learn the clan's daily contradictions. Hyenas cooperate during hunting, but fight over the carcass afterward. They defend relatives, but bully lower-ranking individuals. They form strong social bonds while living inside a system built around competition. To survive, you must understand when to challenge and when to submit. A mistake involving the wrong individual may result in a serious bite. You observe grooming partnerships and alliances. Two lower-ranking hyenas may cooperate against a stronger opponent. Relatives support one another. High-ranking females maintain their position partly through networks of social relationships. Brains matter. Spotted hyenas possess complex social intelligence. You must remember numerous clan members, understand their relationships, and adjust your behavior depending on who is present. Stealing meat from a low-ranking individual may be safe. Stealing the same meat while that individual's powerful mother stands nearby may be an extremely short experiment. You also practice the famous bone-crushing abilities of your species. Your skull becomes larger. The muscles around your jaw thicken. Your premolars strengthen. Eventually, bones that once rolled away from you begin cracking. Inside them is marrow, a rich source of energy inaccessible to many competing animals. This gives spotted hyenas an important advantage. A carcass that appears finished to another predator may still contain valuable nutrition for you. You can process parts that vultures, jackals, and even lions may struggle to use completely. However, this ability has produced one of the greatest misunderstandings about your species. Because hyenas consume carcasses efficiently, people often assume they survive mainly by scavenging. In reality, spotted hyenas are skilled predators that frequently hunt their own meals. They are both hunters and scavengers, because refusing available food would be a poor survival strategy. A lion will steal. A leopard will scavenge. A human will eat leftovers from the refrigerator at midnight. Nature does not award dignity points for wasting meat. Eventually, you are no longer a den cub. Your future now depends partly on whether you are female or male. If you are female, you will usually remain in the clan where you were born. Your mother's rank becomes the foundation of your adult social position. Your sisters, mother, and other female relatives form a network of allies. You will hunt, compete for food, and perhaps eventually raise cubs of your own. If you are male, your path is very different. Most male spotted hyenas leave their birth clan after reaching maturity. They travel into unfamiliar territory and attempt to join another clan. This means abandoning the social rank inherited from their mothers. A male that grew up inside a powerful family may arrive in a new clan and immediately fall near the bottom of the hierarchy. Adult females dominate him. Resident juveniles may outrank him. Imagine growing up as the son of an influential family, leaving home and discovering that every local teenager is now your manager. A male cannot usually force access to females through aggression. Successful mating often depends on patience, persistence, and establishing relationships. Females have substantial control over mating. A reckless male that approaches too aggressively may be threatened, attacked, or rejected. For both sexes, adulthood requires constant social awareness. Food availability changes. Clan membership changes. Allies die. New rivals appear. Lions remain dangerous. Humans add new threats through habitat loss, livestock conflict, poisoning, trapping, and vehicle collisions. You survive the den, but survival never becomes automatic. Suppose you are female. Years after your own dangerous birth, you become pregnant. After roughly 110 days, instinct leads you away from the communal den toward a private birth site. Then the cycle reaches its most difficult point. You must deliver your cubs through the same elongated canal your mother used. The contractions begin. If this is your first litter, the risk may be greatest. Eventually, a dark cub emerges. Its eyes are already open. Its front teeth are visible. A second cub may follow. Within hours, they begin pushing, biting, and competing. You lick them. You nurse them. You intervene when possible. You will leave them to hunt and turn your meals into rich milk. You will carry them to the communal den. You will support them during social encounters so they learn which clan members they can dominate and which they should avoid. Your cubs inherit more than your genes. They inherit your allies. They inherit your enemies. They inherit your access to food. They inherit your place within the clan. So, how did you survive being born, ready to fight? First, you survived the birth itself. You passed through an extraordinarily difficult delivery route and reached the private den alive. Your open eyes, erupted teeth, and advanced muscles allowed you to compete almost immediately. Your mother's rich milk sustained you through months when you could not feed yourself. Her social rank influenced how much food reached her and eventually how much milk reached you. The communal den protected your body while introducing your mind to one of the most complicated societies found among carnivorous mammals. You learned voices, alliances, rank, and relationships. You discovered how to hunt, crack bones, and judge whether a group of lions could be challenged or should be avoided at maximum speed. Yes, it is brutal to be born as a spotted hyena. Your entrance into the world may injure or kill your mother. Your first opponent may be your own sibling. Your access to food depends partly on a hierarchy, created before you understand what hierarchy means. Lions may kill you without eating you. Disease can spread through the communal den. Drought can keep your mother away for dangerously long periods. And if you survive childhood, adulthood does not provide a retirement plan. You must hunt, maintain alliances, compete for carcasses, and perhaps endure the same dangerous birth process to produce the next generation. But there is beauty too. You sleep beside your mother while dawn spreads across the grasslands. You wrestle with other cubs until everyone collapses in a pile of spotted fur. You hear distant whoops travel through the darkness and listen as relatives answer from kilometers away. You follow the clan beneath a sky filled with stars. You discover that your jaws can open bones filled with rich marrow. You run beside a group powerful enough to challenge lions. You are born prepared for conflict, but teeth alone do not save you. You survive through milk, memory, family, intelligence, and cooperation. That is the central contradiction of your life. You compete fiercely for food, yet rely on relatives when danger arrives. You establish dominance over your sibling, yet grow up depending on the protection of an entire clan. The animal born ready to bite enters a world where no individual succeeds completely alone. If, after all this, you still think being born as a spotted hyena sounds easy, try spending your first morning fighting an armed sibling for breakfast while your exhausted mother recovers from giving birth through an anatomical drinking straw. The spotted hyena is not simply nature's laughing villain. It is a powerful, intelligent, and deeply social predator whose survival begins with a dangerous birth, continues through childhood politics, and eventually produces an animal capable of turning bones into dinner. And somewhere beneath the African grasslands, inside a dark, private den, a newborn cub is opening its eyes. Beside it, another cub is doing the same. Neither of them can walk properly. Both of them already have teeth. The first negotiation is about to begin.